Right, so we have yet another juicy cryptic tweet from Mr. Love to Dream that could suggest that yes, we're seeing the iPad Pro in March, we've kind of known that for some time now, but also maybe the redesigned iMac. And to the one guy at the back waiting patiently for AirTags and was hoping they would release in March, well, maybe there's some bad news because it seems like they might be delayed again. So yeah, let's delve into all of this. So make sure to like and subscribe, click that bell notification for the latest Apple news and rumors. And with that being said, let's just tuck in. Right, so a little disclaimer before I delve into this information, and that is because of the cryptic nature of these tweets, we have no real idea what exactly is Love to Dream referring to. And so everything I delve into is based on my theories and speculation, and so I could be completely wrong, and so let me know what you guys think this acronym could mean in the comments below. But anyways, let's get the iMac theory out of the way because I'm a bit unsure about this, but I do have a few reasonings. So MLOFTI sounds like gibberish, but of course it's an acronym that could mean March launch only features the iMac, or of course similarly, March launch of the iMac. So why do I think there is a small chance this could be happening? Well, it begins with Jon Prosser and his leaks of the iMac that of course I covered recently in a previous video you can check out in the iCard above. Now amongst the amazing renders and the funky colours, one thing caught my eye and that is the title of the video that delves into these iMac leaks and how Jon specifically mentions M1 iMac. Now of course, there is a very high chance that the M1 in the title is purely because he's trying to get those SEO brownie points and he's trying to rank in search, which of course as a YouTuber I completely understand. However, I do think there is a good chance we see an M1 powered iMac because the 21.5 inch base iMac hasn't been touched in literally years, and of course Apple probably wants to keep the price the same, and so to offset the costs of the redesign and of course the mini LED panel, they use the M1 chip. And of course we saw the M1 in the Mac Mini, and so I do think it's plausible we see it in a variant of the iMac too. But anyways, coming back to my main point, if we do see an M1 iMac, then it's very plausible this release is way ahead of the other M1X and M2 powered iMacs because Apple has a tiered strategy with the release of their Apple Silicon Macs, and that is every subsequent model has better performance than the last one, and so of course that means that before Apple delves into M1X in the summer, they have to release all the M1 Macs first. And so yes, since we can expect the MacBook Pros with M1X around mid-year, it kind of makes sense that Apple launches the M1 iMac at the March event, of course before the end of the year launch, where Apple showcases the more powerful and bigger iMacs with M1X and M2. Not only this, but of course Apple did not update the 21.5 inch iMac last year. They only updated the 27 inch size, which of course suggested that they had plans of replacing the 21.5 inch iMac first before the bigger size. And one final tidbit to add to my theory, and that is 21.5 inch iMacs with 512 or 1TB SSDs are currently unavailable on Apple's site. There are no delays in shipment dates, they're just not available. You can't buy them, and so maybe that could be hinting at a release that could be happening very soon in March. Though I want to say there is a pretty good chance, it's also because of the pandemic and SSD shortages that Apple might be having, and so yeah, don't get too excited. I'm not too sure about this theory, but of course I would love to see the lower end iMac launch at the March event. But anyways, let's now move on to the other theory that is more credible, I think, and the theory that makes a lot of sense based on other rumors, and that is, of course, the iPad Pro launching at the March event, because this acronym could also mean March launch only features the iPad. So of course I've made countless videos on the iPad Pro launching in March, and of course recently John Prosser again told us that at the event we should see iPad Pro, Magic Keyboard, and AirTags as the main releases. Though, if I haven't misunderstood Love to Dream, then maybe what he's saying is that we only see the iPad in March and there will be no new Magic Keyboard and no AirTags. Now this might seem a little odd, but this does make some sense to me, because the Magic Keyboard, as far as I'm aware, hasn't been leaked by any other sources. Only John seems adamant on a new one, and so yeah, I can see that not happening. But AirTags, on the other hand, is something we've been waiting for and we've known has been ready since October 2020, and so you might be wondering, what's the delay now? Well, I think it's just down to the pandemic. I know that Apple thinks that by the time March arrives, this COVID thing will just completely disappear, but I don't think that'll be the case, and so the market for AirTags will be pretty small, and of course people rarely lose things at home, and so yeah, I think there is a good chance that Apple keeps pushing this till the situation somewhat gets better. Now there are two more tidbits I want to mention. Number one, because there is no specific mention of the iPad Pro, there is a small chance that what he's referring to is the budget iPad, which of course is apparently also due for a spring release according to some sources that of course I've covered in previous videos. You can check out in the iCard above. Now, I do think the chances of this happening are pretty low because, number one, we haven't got any updates about the iPad 9 from any credible sources since these early reports, but also number two, we usually see the iPad 9 in the September timeframe, and so I do expect this 2021 version to also release then. And number two, if the acronym does mean March launch only features the iPad, then the use of launch instead of event kinda leads me to believe that maybe this iPad Pro could be released via a press release, much like Apple Terminal has referred to in the past. And of course it does kinda make sense because if the iPad Pro is the only product launching in March, then why would Apple have an event for one product? It makes no sense, and so yes, maybe we're seeing a quiet site refresh instead. But yes, that is enough of my theorizing and speculating. Tell me in the comments below, what do you think this acronym could possibly mean? Anyways, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click that bell notification for the latest Apple news and rumors. Check out a video here in the icon above about the iPad Pro gaining Pro apps, which is pretty sick. And on that note, I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya, peeps.